You know, when you start off a video thinking like you're about to go off emotionally and have like the emotions to like convey exactly what it is that you want to talk about, and then you realize that fundamentally, as a society, we have our priorities all wrong. Like, say what you will about education, say what you will about this and that, but we know how essential it is for the future of kids, future of our children. And then we have something happening like this in South Dakota, one of the states, mind you, with the lowest pay for teachers possible. And we have teachers scrambling in some, what some would call like a Squid Game type game, just so that they can have enough money to buy school supplies for children. Teachers scrambling for cash to provide value for your kids. And that's an entertainment, like a halftime show entertainment. Do you see the desperation in these men and women, like trying their hardest to get as much as they can? And mind you, those are dollar bills. Single dollar bills amounting to a total of 5,000. And someone thought this was a good idea. I mean, maybe it's good that something like this happened so that people can realize how actually messed up things are. Because let's be honest, we can spend trillions in the military industrial complex, but then when it comes to our children, nothing. And then there's also studies showing that if a certain population of the United States was literate to like this level, then the economy would be doing way much better. So we just stepping our toes and like letting whoever has the most political clout to dictate what makes his pockets bigger. And then we forget about the teachers that taught all of us and the teachers that are going to teach our children and our grandchildren. Like, do we care about the future, or do we like complaining about how incompetent or like useless, for example, millennials moving into the workplace, they lack work everywhere? All those minor things that we keep whining and complaining about as employers, employees, wherever it is it might be. Fundamentally, we realize at the end of the day, our priorities are out of whack, and that is a problem. I honestly don't know what this channel is about. I'm just gonna like be straight up with you and like give you my 2 cents on everything. But this here right here just isn't right. It's not like not just this happening. We can be say like, oh, the mortgage lender company that thought that was a good idea, they were a bit tone deaf, blah blah blah. But I feel like fundamentally, if this is an occurrence that can take place right now in the world that we live in, right now, that should tell us pretty clearly what our priorities are as a society moving forward. It like because we can. And for other people, it's easier, you know, people that can take their kids to like private schools and all that stuff with like better resources. But over the rest of the country, people that are working their asses off, you know, income inequality and everything just trickles down. And then people tell people, oh, you should try harder, work harder, do this, do this. Yeah, people can try hard, but then there's a cap on what people can achieve because the nation has all its priority all wiped up. You know, how are we supposed to like thrive in a capitalistic society if the rules aren't set up to win, are not set up for everyone to win in the first place? Like people keep saying like, oh, that's not actual capitalism, that's cronyism. But have we seen a better example of that? And I'm not a socialist, I'm not a communist, I don't even know what my ideology is, but I can tell you right now, the system that we're having as it is right now, it is not working. Because Satan, like, I don't care whether you're a capitalist, whatever it is you are, but Satan things should be socialized so that everyone has an equal opportunity to therefore go out into the capitalistic world and kick ass. Isn't that the world that we all want to live in? Like, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Isn't that the world that each and every single one of us wants to live in? A world where everyone has an opportunity. Like, imagine imagine how many more kids are not going to be taught, how many more kids their potential is going to be limited, how many more children are never going to see the light of day and get put in a box and get subservient to like some industry or whatever it might be, because they never had the opportunity to take their education to like the highest level. Say what you will, like people debate, oh, go college, but then we can all agree fundamentally the Satan schooling that everyone needs to get so that you can like be useful in society. As a capitalist, don't you want more successful, ambitious, educated employees to make your company better? Don't you want people that can think better, do better, be more efficient at every single thing? Can we just create a baseline where everyone can start at so that society as a whole can be way much better? And we're talking about this in a country like the United States of America, where everything is the land of dreams, land of opportunities and everything. But then it seems like we're still having third world problems in this kind of nations as well. So it makes me question this. How are we going to compete with the rest of the world? Because the rest of the world might be doing better for their teachers because they know what it is to socialize and what it is to let the market play out. But then it feels like in America it's the total opposite, because you have the government infiltrating and playing games and shaking handy with their buddies who pay enough in campaign contributions, whilst at the same time we have teachers, something that should be social, like healthcare, things that could be socialized just so that everyone can live and focus on dreaming. You know, it's not even about like sharing the money. No. This is the value that we are undermining. This shows us how little we care. And it's scary because it doesn't seem to be changing. It just seems to be worse because life is getting more expensive. Teachers have to try harder, and teachers have to try harder with less resources, and they are less successful, and the future generations are going to be less impactful. It's this vicious cycle of like bad things happening, and I feel like we need some reform. Like, I don't know what that would look like. I'm no politician. I don't know anything about politics or whatever. I don't know anything about the economics, the fundamentals of it, but this is something that we can all agree it ain't right. It just is not. And I feel like we can do better than this as a nation, because this right here, I know it's supposed to be entertaining, whatever it might be, but it just saddens you. Like, you just like, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to do? Yeah, all right. So I didn't expect this to take this long. It was very rumbly, I know that, but I hope we can start thinking better, thinking of doing better. Future generations, future politicians, future wherever, start thinking about moments like this. Don't forget it. Don't let it pile up with all the bullshit we see on social media. These are the things that matters on a day-to-day basis. Education itself needs a reform, but we need more investment in education itself, because this shouldn't be happening. It just shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be.